Hi, it's Dr. Sarah Gordon of the PhD Journey Unplugged podcast. Here we are tonight, episode 33, and I want to talk about why maintenance matters. It's important for me to say first that all information that I share on this podcast and in each episode is for general informational purposes only. It's not professional advice and should not be taken as professional advice. It's information based on my experiences as a doctoral student, also based on my professional, academic, and personal experiences. So just want to make that clear before we get started. I'm so excited to have this opportunity to talk to you tonight, episode 33, in the middle of the week, Wednesday. How's your week going? What's going on in your life tonight? How are you feeling? How's your mental health? How's your physical health? What's going on and do you think that things can get better? Did you have a great day? Did you have a hard day? I mean, I don't, it's hard for me to know because I don't know, who's listening tonight, but there are questions that you can ask yourself and see if you need to adjust something, see if something feels out of alignment, not comfortable, not where you want to be. These are questions that we can ask ourselves to be introspective, to think about how we can live our best lives. How can we improve our health? How can we find more peace in our lives, more joy, and more satisfaction? So, as I think about those things for myself as well, because I have goals too that I want to work towards and achieve in my life. I thought about for this episode tonight to talk about maintenance and why maintenance matters. And I started to think about it as far as the PhD journey and what that kind of felt like, when you're going through a 5-year program. I thought about like athletically what that feels like. And the best way I can describe it is maintenance doesn't always feel super inspiring. It doesn't always feel super exciting. But what it gives you is it gives you opportunities to maintain wherever you are, your fitness level or whatever is your weight loss goals, where you're in a class, just making sure you hit your deadlines and maintaining your status in a class. And it helps you keep moving forward until perhaps you find that spark again, right? I mean, not every day can be just like an incredibly inspiring day. I mean, sometimes we have to maintain, Sometimes, and I can give you some analogies like going out for a run. Sometimes they're just maintenance runs. They let your body just kind of relax and be in a zone of training that just is comfortable and prepares you for, let's say, on the weekend, you're going to go do a long run or a harder run, or you're preparing for something at work and you're kind of maintaining during the week because maybe the next week something really big is coming. Or, when I was in school, just kind of if I knew that I had a large paper due, let's say, in the beginning of the week, I would look at the syllabus and kind of laid out the week. I had to maintain a certain amount of progress during the week to reach the goal on the weekend. I mean, sometimes if you feel super energized, you come out of the gate strong and you jump right into it and really power through something. But sometimes you just don't have that energy. Whatever else might be going on in your life and in your world, and you might just be coming down with a cold or, there's lots of things. But the challenge and I guess the skill I would suggest is like it's okay to be in a maintenance mode. It's okay to maintain something until you feel that kind of energy again. So I thought about it for myself because the truth is, like tonight, I was super excited on episode 32. I had Lori Rowe. We talked about sound healing. It was so inspiring. I learned so much about it. And then I'm back to, myself tonight. And I thought, what can I say? the holidays are around the corner. I'm planning something kind of exciting that's gonna coincide closer to Thanksgiving. Just a little teaser there, um, with a guest. But I was thinking, what can I say to you tonight? It's kind of a rainy, dreary day here. I didn't necessarily want to go to the pool and swim this afternoon. I was starting in my mind to look for all the reasons why I wasn't going to go. The weather, it's getting dark early. I just didn't feel like it. I mean, we're just human. We have days like that. And then I just said, Sarah, just go and just maintain your fitness, maintain your swimming, and just get through today. Well, interestingly enough, by allowing myself that mental state of just like thinking in terms of maintenance, I actually had a really nice swim. It was very relaxing. I felt pretty strong. I got a good distance in. So that was kind of surprising. Sometimes we talk ourselves out of things. Sometimes we feel like we're just not in the mental or physical state to do something. And instead of just giving up and not doing anything, whether it's an assignment for school or it's, physical activity or going to an event that you said you would go to, I mean, rather than just not doing it, if you can view it as maintenance, right? It might not feel super exciting and super inspiring, but if you get yourself there or you keep moving forward one step at a time, it might surprise you. You might actually get to another step where you've actually increased your strength. You've moved closer to your goal. It's incredible how maintenance can do that. So I just thought about that for tonight. I'm not, I just don't know really what much to say tonight. And then I thought, oh, that's exactly what it is. I'm in a maintenance mode tonight with my podcast. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get on here tonight, going to maintain my schedule, and I'm just going to talk about why that is important, why maintenance is important. Because, like I said in the beginning, not every day of something that we're working towards can be a super exciting day. Some days, really, you can feel like you want to quit. I remember that feeling in my PhD program, feeling like there was just no way I was going to get through that week. There was just too much on my plate going on in my personal life and just everything coming at me all at once. And really, what I did is I broke it down into small pieces, right? I knew what the overall goal was, but I broke it into smaller segments. And I used to say, okay, maybe I can't comprehend getting a 12-page paper done by Friday this week, but I surely can go into the library Monday morning and write a page, a paragraph, whatever can come out. I can just maintain some motion forward. And that's really how I approached it. In fact, that's a true story. That was in an ethics class. And I really was struggling. I don't know why at that point in time in my program, it was probably year 2 or 3, I was just fatigued. And ethics is interesting, but it's kind of dry. It's a lot of policy, it's a lot of law, and it just requires a lot of memorization and a lot of focus. So, and when you're tired or fatigued, that's hard. So I just said to myself, go to the library, find a quiet space, set yourself up for success. Break it into small pieces, small parts, and just go through, maintain some type of motion moving forward. 1 page a day, maybe 2 pages a day, maybe one day, one paragraph. And lo and behold, by the end of the week, those 12 pages were created. And then I moved on. I moved on to the next step. So that's what I'm thinking about when I think about maintenance and about how important that is for our mental health and our physical health and maintaining friendships and other things in your life that bring you joy and peace and happiness. It's when you think about your overall mental health and well-being, there's a lot to it, and your physical health. There's a lot to it. There's sleep, there's nutrition, there is doing regular blood work, there's socializing. I mean, there's a lot to our mental health. And like I said, not every day is going to feel like a super inspiring day. But those aren't the days that you just give up and you say forget about it, this is not it's boring. Maybe it's just boring, you know? I felt that a few times in school. This is just boring. It's not exciting to me. It's not like something I really want to study right now. But if you take an attitude of maintenance and you maintain some momentum, one step forward, it helps you closer to your goals. I've seen it. I've seen it for myself academically in getting my doctorate degree. I've seen it athletically in completing a half Ironman. There were days, quite frankly, I just did not want to train. Didn't feel like it, maybe burnt out, tired, bored. The weather was miserable. I mean, there's always excuses, right? We're always going to have excuses. We're always going to have excuses. And where you find your strength and where you find your character, where you find yourself is what do you do in those moments? What do you do? Do you give up? No. You get through it at the pace that you can. And you don't beat yourself up for maybe going a little slower or just having to take a day off, you know? Sometimes rest is really needed. Sometimes you really just need to say, I need to take a break today. And that's okay. As long as you get back on track as soon as possible, perhaps the next day. So that's my message tonight as I myself struggle to bring something meaningful to you tonight. I don't think I'm always going to be having this super inspiring message. I think that tonight is about maintenance. It's about saying to you, yeah, I got to the pool today. It was rainy, it was cold. I didn't want to go, but I went and I ended up having a pretty strong swim. And I will tell you, I met this really very nice, energetic, young triathlete, 30 years younger than me, who we both were just so inspired by each other. So something really positive happened too by me kind of pushing myself to maintain something in my life. Think about weight loss programs, right? I'm very concerned with all these weight loss injection programs, these GLP-1s and all these things that I see advertised on social media and on the TV. And listen, I'm not here to judge. I think that everybody's journey is their personal journey. But I think the key to something like that is maintenance, is how do you, if you choose to get off of something like that, how do you maintain that weight loss? How do you maintain healthy lifestyle behaviors? How do you put things in your life where you learn how important nutrition is and you learn how important physical activity is? That's all maintenance, okay? The fun stuff, starting on something and you're starting to see results and it's exciting and you have so much momentum and it's great, right? Kind of felt that way when I started my doctorate program. It was fun, it was exciting and getting started and all that kind of stuff. And then comes the period where it's not quite as exciting. You have to learn habits and strategies to get through and to maintain something in your life, to maintain a behavior, consistency, discipline, education, all these things are just so important. I can't stress it enough. Okay. It's not super shiny and flashy and super exciting, but it's essential. It's essential to be successful when you're trying to reach your goals, right? Your health goals, your athletic goals, your academic goals, your professional goals. In maintenance, it requires consistency and discipline. And those sometimes don't feel like super exciting things. But what grows out of consistency and discipline is the growth, is the growth, is reaching that goal, is finding success. It's maintaining success in your life. It's getting your life to some place where you want to get it, some place where you want to grow and you want to further your path towards self-actualization. So that's my message tonight. I hope that wherever you are tonight, whatever kind of day you're having, hearing a message about how important it is to maintain something helps you. If you're kind of in a space right now at this moment where, maybe you've been thinking about giving up something, maybe you're getting bored with something, maybe you're confused, you don't necessarily see a path forward, just take one step and try maintenance and maintaining something, some forward motion, one step forward, because you will get through it and you will find that you get through those periods and then they're behind you and you've grown. And I don't know how to say it, any more clearly. I just know thinking about my PhD journey, there were so many times in 5 years where I said to myself, wow, I don't know how I'm going to get through it. I'm tired. And like I said, this is boring. And, it's all kinds of things. But you just push yourself. Okay. You push yourself. You never give up. You understand that hard work does pay off. It always pays off. And really, if it wasn't hard, sometimes you wouldn't grow. You wouldn't learn. That's sometimes where the magic happens. Somebody once said to me, and I think about it often, choose your heart, okay? Whatever it is, choose your heart and then stay focused on it and stay focused on your goals and use all the strategies that you can to set yourself up for success. Rest, physical activity, and maintenance. And that's what I got to say tonight. So I wish everybody a wonderful midweek. I know we're moving towards the Thanksgiving holidays. I really hope it's a wonderful and blessed time for you and your family and your friends. It's a great time to think about maintenance and things that you can do to carry you through the holidays, to stay focused on your goals. I do remember, it's kind of a funny story, but I do remember Thanksgiving one year in school, a classmate posted on our discussion boards, do we get a break during Thanksgiving, right? And the reality in asynchronous learning and online learning is you don't really get a break. I mean, I think we got a break for 1 week winter break, but surely not Thanksgiving. And so you just had to maintain your presence in the class and maintain the discussion posts and get the assignments done, even through Thanksgiving. So I'll always remember that because we all were a little shocked about that, but that's the way it goes, and that was part of the journey. And you just we stayed focused, and we got one thing done at a time, and we kept moving forward. Most of my cohort has graduated. A few friends are still working towards that finish line and still maintaining, that status as a student and working towards that goal. So that's it. I wish everybody a wonderful rest of the week. And I'm excited. I have something planned for next week that will launch the day before Thanksgiving. That's all I'm going to say. And yeah, I love having this platform. I hope you find value and meaning and purpose in it. I see a lot of things. I read a lot all the time. I listen to a lot of people in the health promotion space. I try to, educate myself and learn constantly. There's a lot of voices out there. There's a lot to listen to. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of products. If you're like me, sometimes it just feels kind of overwhelming. And who do you listen to? And I think you just have to ask yourself, what are the goals in your life? Where are you trying to get your life to? What do you value? Where do you draw the line in terms of setting those priorities in your life? And then you listen to people who help you get there. It's really um, the best way I can say that. So, all right, that's it. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I'll be back probably in a few days, and we'll see what inspires me to talk about next. And please feel free to reach out to me. You can message me through my Facebook group. I have the PhD Journey Unplugged podcast Facebook group, so you can always send me a message there, and you can comment on any of my videos. I read them. I stay connected, and I look at those things. So I kind of can know how I'm doing and if I'm um, offering good suggestions and so let me know how I'm doing too. Sometimes I need that boost of confidence to get me through these periods where it's maintenance for me. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and I wish everybody the best always. All right. Good night.